I want to tell you a story. In 1999, at the Roland Garros. No. Come here. Come here. Sorry, it's my dog. Why did traders break their rules? Hey guys, it's Marisa here. So who am I and why should you listen to me? My name is Marisa. I'm the founder of Method Trading. Before I became a trader, I worked in regulatory compliance for investment banks in London. I'm now a full-time trader and I do swing trading on Forex and US stocks. I'm a crypto investor and high time frame trader, and I'm also a long-term value investor in the global stock markets. In 2025, my portfolio surpassed $1 million. I'm a trading mindset expert and I'm a trained coach. I've worked with Hollywood success coach Bernard Hiller, and I also trained with trader and CEO of City Traders Imperium, Daniel Martin. And finally, I'm a performance coach for City Traders Imperium, a prop firm based in London. So what do? I help struggling traders get unstuck and become profitable, and I do this through coaching. Today we're talking about why traders break their rules. Now, it's very strange that so many traders break their rules. But is it? Is it really that strange? You know, the research has been done. Top universities, Harvard, Yale, their behavioral finance departments have done research into this. It's clear why traders break their rules, and it's because they're making emotional decisions. Now, we need to understand this properly to fix it. I want to tell you a story. At the 1999 Roland Garros singles ladies final, Martina Hingis was the world number one at the time. She was about 19 years old, just winning everything. And she was playing Steffi Graf. Now, Steffi Graf was a champion in the 80s, early 90s, and she was really at the end of her career. So it was a matchup between the current world number one, the best player in the world, versus a retiring great. So a big match. Martina Hingis was up 1 set and 2 games in the second set. Now, women just have to win the best of 3. So she was 4 games away from winning the title. And there was a bad call. There was a call she didn't agree with. So she went over to argue the call, but in going over, she crossed the net. You're not allowed to do that. So they docked a point of her. There was a penalty. She got upset about that. And that was a turning point in the entire match. Her emotions got the better of her. She got upset over the point. She eventually had to leave the court in tears. She came back. She fell apart. She completely choked and she lost. Steffi Graf won the title that year. And Martina Hingis had a moment in the match where you could clearly see her emotions taking over, and she could not recover. She could not recover that game, and in fact, she never won a Grand Slam again. That was the end of her, essentially the start of the end of her career. She was 19. She had just started. If you don't understand the impact of emotions on performance, right now you need to start understanding the impact of emotions on performance. Trading is not a technical activity. It's a performance sport. And we're trained to be analysts. Analysts look at technicals on a chart and they chart out patterns and they look at possibilities that could happen. You're not an analyst, you're a trader. And most traders try to just be an analyst and then trade. And you cannot do it. You're breaking your rules because you're choking. You're choking because you're making emotional decisions. The emotions are getting the better of you. The only way to fix this, the only way, is to first understand this is a performance sport, not an analytical one. You're not an analyst, you're a trader, and a trader has to perform. And to perform, you're more like a sports person. You need to understand how to manage those emotions, how to become a trader that can perform under pressure. The difference between an analyst and a trader is an analyst has no pressure in the moment. They can just look at charts and technicals. They can do the work with a logical brain. Logical brains in the front here. A trader has to deal with pressure, with uncertainty, with a lot of things that are similar to performing in a Roland Garros final. Roland Garros is the French Open, by the way. And you have to train yourself to perform at an elite level. That's the difference. That is why traders are breaking their rules, because they have no training to deal with the emotions that come up under pressure. Now, Martina Hingis's career-ending emotional meltdown on the court in the Paris Open that year is a great example of it. It happens all the time. This is why smaller teams that shouldn't win, sports people that shouldn't win in the day, because in the moment, it's not about what they know, it's not about how good they are, it's not about their technical abilities, it's about how they perform under pressure. Who can perform the best under pressure? Someone who's a worse player can beat you because they just manage the pressure better in the moment. And this is what trading is all about. So you have to start learning to perform under pressure. And trading, the pressure will never go away because it's uncertainty. Every trade is uncertain. That's inherent. That's inherent in the nature of trading. If you've read Mark Douglas's book, Trading in the Zone, every trade has a probability, and you have to be confident about your setup, your entry, your stop loss, and then you have to decide, is it worth seeing if this will work, if this trade will work, and then you put some risk on it to see the outcome. That's it. That's where your performance ends. Performing as a trader is far simpler than performing as a sports person. You have to do so much less, but because you want to control the situation, you want to control the uncertainty, you're there helicopter parenting your trade. You're hovering over it. You're over managing it. You're over moving the break even. You're overthinking everything. You're over. You're controlling something that is uncontrollable. Performance as a trader is far easier, far easier than performance as a sports person. They have to do a lot all the way to winning whatever sport they're playing in the moment. We have to just get into the trade with a stop loss set and a target, a plan for getting out. That's it. There's not much more to do. In fact, there's nothing else to do other than wait. So that is why traders break their rules, because you're not trained to perform under pressure, and you're over managing, completely over controlling a situation that is out of your control. The only control you have is making that decision to get into the trade and deciding to set a stop loss, a risk, and deciding to get out. That's it. Nothing else you can control. You can't control in between as the trade starts moving. You might as well close your computer and just wait. See if that trade works. On to the next one. That's how it works. Guys, my name is Marisa. I'm here every Wednesday. This is the Trader's Journal. I teach all things trading psychology and trading mindset. I am a performance coach. This is what I do. I help traders perform in the moment. And I think every trader needs a performance coach because it's the missing ingredient. If you are interested in finding out more about performance as a trader, then subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and also click the link below. I've got a program. It's a 12-week program. The entire cost of the program is only $100. I am a trader. I'm not an educator, but I like to help other traders also succeed. It's a fantastic course. It's going to make you a high elite performing trader. Click the link below and have a look at that. How else I can help you is obviously just through my content here on my channel. And if you're interested, I also do one-to-one coaching. It's called 12900 private one-to-one sessions. You can apply to that. The link is below. And if your application is successful, we can have a conversation to see if it's really right for you.